Okay, today I want to take a look at world events. I'm going to kind of do one reading that's going to hit a bunch of topics here. We're going to start with Russia and Ukraine. And let's just look at that right now. So, with our first post solstice reading, let's see what we got. Huh. All right. The world. All right. So the main card, just when we're looking at Russia and Ukraine, and I'm going to do these as smaller readings because we're going to hit a bunch of topics here, but we get the reversed Three of Pentacles, and this is collaboration and a bunch of different people or countries, in this case, probably working together. And the reverse three, they're not really working well together at all. We will do a card to see each side, where it comes from and where it goes. Now, the world on the bottom, I'm really thinking that this is coming out because I'm looking at world topics, but as it applies to this specific situation, the root energy is like kind of an ending or like a graduation. So this would show that the ending of this situation is kind of trying to come out. But the way I guess this shows up, Three of Pentacles reversed, um, the lack of cooperation, the lack of teamwork, we'll say. And what leads up to it is a reverse temperance card, and that is trying to blend two things that don't blend. And where it leads is a reversed Eight of Cups. Now, the Eight of Cups is about sort of letting go of old emotional baggage and sort of moving forward. But this is when, even if you try to move forward, it's just like stuck to you. So there's no getting away from all of the emotional baggage, the guilt, the like whatever is going on over there. So the only positive thing here is that the world does show up on the bottom, and maybe this means that there is some will to end that situation over there. And but what it's running into, this doesn't look like actually anything good. It looks like more of a quagmire, unless the lack of cooperation is what would cause it to end, right? But even if this were to end, it looks like there would be no cleansing, you know? Nothing would really feel different, at least. But looking at that, I wouldn't expect any big changes, even though there may be a will for that to happen. So I did get a request to look at Turkey and Greece. So let's just take a peek at that and see what we got going on there coming up. I mean, I guess we'll look at the summer since we are on the other side of the solstice. Turkey and Greece. This is a lot of fear in the reverse Nine of Swords. Oh, geez. And the main card is reversed. Three of Swords, heartbreak and betrayal. And let's just look at either side. Wow. I'm going to pull a card just to see if there is any, like, direct aggression. And with the Page of Wands, I don't necessarily think that there would be any direct aggression there, but the main card that comes out as a reverse Three of Swords, so this is a betrayal, right? Heartbreak and betrayal. This thing reversed, it's like it's being projected there. And that also happens with this reverse nine. So there's a lot of fear and like some actual betrayal, but it looks like it's being forced upon the situation somehow. Um, Now, in what leads up to it, we have the lovers, and this is a commitment, like a big commitment. Here, it looks like the commitment causes some sort of betrayal, or it is like sort of going back on the commitment, but I think the commitment is actually what causes this to happen. So, one or the other of the countries would have made some commitment that would cause them to kind of um, turn on each other or turn on the other one, right? And as it moves forward, we get to judgment. Now, because the judgment card was there, that's why I pulled the card to see if there was going to be any direct aggression. But it does look like it would come to some sort of head, like this summer. And I don't really know exactly what is going on there between Turkey and Greece, but it looks like it comes to some sort of head. There is some betrayal and a bunch of fear being shot at them, projected from another source. And I mean, keeping it. I do know that these are both NATO countries, um, and this might be NATO here, but I don't think there is any direct aggression. So I don't know if this is economic or what the deal is here, but it does look like that would come to some sort of head this summer. Now, I'm just going to pull a card for the well-being of Greece as we come out of this and the well-being of Turkey. So we're going to start with Greece, and we get the Hierophant, Turkey, the Page of Pentacles. So the Hierophant, this is structure, rules, tradition, traditional power structures. And I guess that would be a good thing, I suppose. And we get a Page of Pentacles over here, and this is more like finding something new and really learning how to work it. So there, I guess there would be more innovation here with Turkey. I did learn the new. There's a different way to pronounce it now, and I'm spacing it out. It's like Turkey. Anyway, this looks like more innovation over here. And with Greece, we've got the Hierophant, which is traditional power structures and all of that. Less innovation for sure, but neither of them look unsafe. So that'll be interesting to see how that shakes out. And I might as well look at China and the place that China is always said, Taiwan, right? Yeah, China and Taiwan. So let's just look at that situation. And we do have a card that is wanting to come out already. So we get the reverse Two of Cups, and this would be a period of disharmony. Let's just see how bad it is. Again, we have a Judgment card. Wow. This summer might be a big one for this. Now, if we're looking at situations where there's a bunch of fear and maybe a bunch of saber rattling, the Judgment card would theoretically get rid of that. Now, is the Judgment card talking about a bigger war? You know, um, Knight of Cups, this is sort of going emotionally out of your comfort zone, and it is some sort of exploration. So as they explore the connection, I guess, it looks like it's not really working out, and it ends up with the Judgment card. I'm just going to pull another card here to see if there is aggression, because that Judgment card is kind of tricky to read there. So two of them really wanted to come out. And we have the Six of Cups and the Seven of Swords. So the Six of Cups is like a story. It's more like a memory. Um, And the Seven of Swords shows a lot of pressure. Pressure to do something that you would not necessarily be ready to do. Now, I would not read this as aggression, but I might read it as like trying to live up to some sort of story, like a heroic tale or something, you know? And this might echo some of the prophecy stuff that was coming out late last year in the cards, but I would not see this as a straight up aggression. Interesting. So that doesn't look harmonious though at any rate, and we'll see what the Judgment card um, is showing, I guess, by the end of the summer. So I do want to look at one more thing here. I want to look at the economy. So we're going to look at the global economy first, and then I want to look at the U.S. economy, and we're looking at this basically through the summer. But things could get really bad. I mean, they already have, but let's just look at the world economy. The Knight of Swords on the bottom. So this is a soldier. This is the territorial defender. So I'm guessing that there are going to be a bunch of soldiers on the move and all of this. If you sell weapons, then this is probably going to be a really good economy. The Two of Wands is showing a new solution to an old problem, but it is kind of bringing two separate things together and blending them into one. Um, we've got digging and planting going on. Let's just see what directly comes out of that. Wow. So the Death card is what directly comes out of that. World economy, this is some big transition. And I'm more familiar with the United States economy, not that I know anything about macroeconomics. But with what is happening in the United States and the gas prices in particular, it is forcing the move away from fossil fuels, right? It's going to force it. If the gas prices continue to rise, then it will no longer be an option for people to keep spending money on gas. You know, I mean, they won't be able to drive in a car somewhere. And whether that's by design or not, it is going to shift the economy toward, you know, electric cars. And I would say renewable energy, but I really don't think so. I think it's just specifically shifting toward electric cars, therefore mining companies and those specific metals that go into their batteries. Um, and this might be the same thing happening on a global scale. I do want to look at the U.S. economy just because I want to see if it's kind of echoing this. And the Justice card. So for the United, for the U.S. economy, this is about the worst thing that could possibly show up. The Justice card, because this is like an evening out, right? And when so much money is printed, trillions and trillions of dollars are just printed, the Justice card is probably going to talk about a devaluing of the US dollar. Or, I mean, there's so many things that have been happening with the economy being propped up by the stimulus payments and COVID and all of that stuff. And then if it evens out, if it goes through a correction, that could be pretty bad. Um, let's just sort of see what comes out of that. The reverse Queen of Wands, it's probably not a terribly good thing. Um, this would be feeling really good about yourself, confidence, you know. And the Queen of Wands is like the pretty girl in the room, you know, and everyone kind of, ooh, I hope she comes, talks to me, right? And the Queen of Wands reversed, this is jealous and manipulative, like she's not very confident in herself. So this would show kind of a correction and a big lack of confidence. And it's probably not all that good. So it will also be interesting to see how this shakes out, especially with the death card showing up in the world economy. But if weapons are your thing, then it'll probably be a decent economy for you. So that's what we get right here. I would love to hear any comments on this, or if you have any ideas on other things you would like to see me do a reading on. Feel free to leave it in the comments, and peace.